Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Annual Pass live stream. This is the stream where we talk about all things theme park rides, shows, attractions, food, snacks, you name it. If it happens in a theme park, we're going to talk about it live here over on youtube.com/annualpass, roosterteeth.com, all over the place, twitch.tv/roosterteeth as well. I am your host, Jack Pattillo, and of course, joining me as always is my lovely and beautiful, talented co-host, Mr. Geoff Ramsey. Hi, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
All right. And also joining us at the table today, we've got Ben. Producer Ben is also going to be joining us as well, hanging out. He's got the laptop open. He's going to be talking to you beautiful people over in the chat over at youtube.com/annualpass. So go over there. That's where we're keeping an eye on the chat, and we're doing Q&A. We've also got some questions from the last few episodes of Annual Pass that we're going to be answering throughout this little build stream we've got going on here. And whatever else. Make sure you grab some merchandise. We've got the Annual Pass merchandise. You can see Ben's got the beautiful shirt on. I've got the hat on. All that cool stuff up in the store. We also have some stickers as well. Make sure when you buy your shirt that you get the Annual Pass shirt. I know it can be confusing. Sometimes there's some lookalikes out there that you want to make sure to grab the correct one. Make sure it says Annual Pass on the shirt. And but anyway, so last time we were here, I built the little mini Magic Kingdom castle right there, Cinderella Castle. And this time I have upgraded to the Lego Creator roller coaster set. I've had this thing at my house for literally years.
Oh, Lord.
But it's so big that if I built it, I couldn't have anywhere to put it. So I was like, you know what? We have a theme park show now, and I can figure out where it goes inside of our studio. So so I'm working on this guy. It's funny because literally yesterday, Lego announced a brand new roller coaster set with a double loop in it, Jeff.
Oh, really?
It's a whole thing and has like a double loop. So this is the old coaster set. They announced a brand new one literally yesterday. And maybe if this one goes well, and if enough people buy some Annual Pass merchandise out there, maybe we can pick up the new set when it comes out next month. Jeff is working on the Magic Kingdom original map puzzle that our friends Jessica and Jennifer sent us. The twins, as we lovingly call them.
I saw them recently.
Oh, yeah? Where'd you see them at?
I saw them when I was at a convention in Atlanta.
Aw.
Yeah, it was great to see them.
They're super awesome. Love those guys.
They brought their mom. They drove up from Florida.
Nice.
They said hi.
Aw.
To you, not to Jack.
Okay, good.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So anyway, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in right now. We're going to be hanging out for a couple hours here and work on some puzzles. Ben is going to be throwing us some Q&A. We got chat up here as well. And so Imitation Jesus says, I've been able to watch or listen to you guys since December, so I'm not missing the stream. What have you been doing for the past 6 months?
Probably been quarantining.
I mean, but still, like, why do you not have internet? Like, what is preventing you from listening?
Maybe he didn't want to catch an internet virus either. Some people want to be safe, Jack.
All right. So, Ben, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm still kind of recovering from our trip we took 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
It's a long recovery process.
I banged up my knees. We filmed a lot of really cool stuff out there. It was fun.
Yeah. So I was realizing the fatal flaw in this for me is that I get very focused when I'm puzzling.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to be useless for this podcast. But why don't you run down? I haven't heard like the rundown of what y'all did. After I left Florida.
So, producer Ben, myself, and Katie.
Yeah, like take me from that what was that place called? The Vanguard Theater.
Vanguard Theater in Florida.
Leaving the Vanguard Theater to you getting COVID.
Well, probably somewhere around that space. We actually went down a few days early to Florida, and we visited a whole bunch of theme parks when we were out there. We started at Magic Kingdom first.
There you go.
Went to the Magic Kingdom the first day, and then the second day.
Was that the first time?
Yeah, it was my first time at Disney.
Did you cry?
A little bit. Jack made me go get like a pin and talk to like one of the guest relations people. It's like my first time and like.
It was really cute. We filmed it all. So, Ben walked in. I was like, oh, come here real quick. And he's like, what? And then we walk in. I'm like, this is my buddy's first time. And he's like, oh, that's super sweet. So, we went to Magic Kingdom, rode a whole bunch of stuff there, rode Splash Mountain. I hadn't done Splash Mountain in ages. And then the next day we did, was that Was it the water park? Okay, so then that night, so that night we went to Epcot. So after Magic Kingdom, we actually jumped over to Epcot and we met up with our buddy Dave Cobb, Jeff. Because Dave Cobb, he was in town and he had friends who were able to hook us up with a spot in line at the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. And so we got to ride that, the brand new roller coaster out there, and holy crap.
Yeah, you can't say enough good things about it, right?
It's amazing. It is so cool. Had a blast on that. And then Wednesday we went to Volcano Bay.
Yes.
Oh wait, no. Thursday we went to Volcano Bay. So Wednesday we did
Magic Kingdom.
So we got in Tuesday.
Thursday
That's right. Tuesday we got in. Wednesday went to Magic Kingdom and then Epcot. Thursday we did the water park and did Volcano Bay, and then we had our live show. Friday we went to Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure, and we rode Men in Black with Dave Cobb, which is super cool.
Yeah, that was great.
And it hung out with a bunch of pass holders too, and it was really great. And then on Saturday, real briefly, we went to Hollywood Studios and we waited in line for Rise of the Resistance for about 3 hours because the ride broke down for about an hour and a half. And we didn't want to leave because that was the one thing we really wanted to do. And we rode it, and it is pretty incredible.
That was your first time riding it, huh?
Not mine.
Oh,
But
it was my first time, yeah.
Ben's first time.
Man, it was cool. I'm actually surprised how many rides I was able to strap a GoPro to my chest and ride through most of those rides. Like, I think I got really good footage of the edge of a handlebar for Splash Mountain, and then a sudden bump, and then nothing but sky and air as you fly down the water chute.
And I will say we did bump into quite a few friends of Annual Pass throughout the parks, which was always awesome. Like, people were actually working inside of the various theme parks and were able to talk to us briefly and stuff. So that was cool.
Do you call them FAPs?
Friends of Annual Pass FOAPs, I guess.
FAPs.
No.
You dropped the O.
You dropped the O.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. I mean, and I love meeting our community in the wild. It's always awesome. Everyone's super friendly. Everyone's so nice. So if you ever do see us out at a theme park, whatever, feel free to give us a shout out, yell our name, say hi. We'll walk over, give you a high five. There was one weird thing, Jeff, when I think I told you about this. We were at Hollywood Studios, and there was a guy I spotted wearing an Annual Pass shirt, wearing the same Annual Pass shirt that Ben has on. And I went up to him and I was like, "Hey man, nice shirt." And he was like, "Okay, thanks, buddy." And I was like, "Oh, he has no idea who I am. That's weird." And then afterwards, he came up to me and he's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you. I only listened to the podcast, but you're Jack, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh yeah, awesome, nice to meet you." I was like, what are the odds that people are just listening to us? But you guys are out there, so thank you very much. And
it's somebody who found the show, liked it enough to support it by buying merchandise and then wearing it out in public, but had never taken the time, thankfully, to look you up. That's because that's typically
I didn't ruin it for him.
One of the hardest obstacles for us to get over is the physical presence.
Yeah. That spoils it for everyone. But yeah, so again, thank you. If you do spot us out there, there's a photo of us at the Men in Black attraction with Dave Cobb. And there's the twins right there in the front, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yeah, there they are.
Look at us all looking awesome right there. And we had a blast. We had a really good time riding that thing. I still have not cracked 9999
How
yet.
close did you get this time?
I think I got 475.
Is that your high score?
No, I think 725 is my high.
Man, if you can't crack it with the creator there giving you tips.
Oh yeah, he was giving everyone tips too, and I totally I couldn't make it happen, man. At some point I will though.
It just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. What was your high score in there? Do you remember?
Like 7. I wasn't.
Just 7.
Yeah, I
don't even know if that's
7
possible.
Things. Yeah.
So I'm gonna dive in here. So Ben, what is going on with our beautiful friends over in chat?
Oh, they're having a good time. Let's see here. I hope so.
Well, that's good.
Back to you,
Someone
Jack.
wants to know. Let's see here. I was looking at all the photos we took, so I was getting ready to pull those up.
Yeah, we got some great photos.
I love the idea of Ben being like a sideline reporter
Back
at
to
a
you, Jack.
sporting
I'd be
game.
great at that.
Hey.
Let's see here. Any thoughts on the new Optimus Prime Lego set? Just got mine today and cannot wait to dig in.
Yeah, that just came out a couple days ago. And earlier last week, and it looks super awesome. I almost bought it. I actually went online to try to buy the Starry Night Lego set, which is it's like
like Van Gogh's.
Yeah, it's Van Gogh's Starry Night, except it's just Lego, and it's awesome. And unfortunately, it's sold out. They have like VIP members, and it's sold out to VIP members before anyone else got access to it. So I totally missed it, unfortunately.
Well, that happens.
It happens. But hopefully I'll get that at some point. And the Optimus Prime one looks really, really cool, though.
Someone in chat asking what song we got for Rewind. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if so. It's not a real massive spoiler, right? If we talk about there's music that plays during Cosmic Rewind.
I don't think that's a surprise even.
I mean, like Disney's actually announced the songs too, so I think there are 6 or 5 tracks you can get, and the one we wrote it twice actually, and the first time we wrote it we got Conga by Gloria Estefan, which was awesome. And then the second time we wrote it, we got September by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, that's cool.
Which was really, really neat. And both of the songs worked really well. And apparently Disco Inferno is like the big one. Like that's the one that everyone says is the best one. So.
Oh, man. You were talking about Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. I did a thing that I don't do anymore. And you're the only people that I can talk about it with.
Okay, what was that, Jeffrey?
I watched Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah.
I haven't watched any of the Marvel stuff.
You don't
and
consume
I haven't watched
narrative media. You just watch. You watch.
Yeah, I no longer consume narrative. That's a great way to put it. I no longer, and I'm not saying it's my girlfriend's fault.
I mean,
but it may sound like it because I'm referencing her thing. But I no longer partake in space problems. So anything with a spaceship or a laser or a dragon, fantasy is rolled into space problems too for some reason.
Space dragons.
Just not. I just don't tend to gravitate towards anymore, as I prefer reality TV and honestly, podcasts more than anything. But I was kind of bored in Atlanta, and I watched. I threw it on and watched the first episode, and then I watched episodes 2 and 3 last night, and I was wondering if you've watched it.
Yeah, absolutely. I've caught up with the 4th episode. Actually, just came out today. Haven't seen that one yet, but it's a good show, man. Ewan McGregor, what a tour de force, man. That guy he's an actor.
Yeah.
It's like some people play around with acting, but man, he is an actor. He is so good at that.
Dude, I don't want to give spoilers, but not super jazzed about the precocious youth angle.
Yeah.
Didn't need that.
Well, I think, you didn't watch Mandalorian, did you?
No, I haven't seen any of it.
Like, that seems to be kind of the go-to thing now, where it's like, let's loop in a kid along with our main character.
Yeah.
And that certainly seems to be the style they're going for again.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with it, though. I think it works in this situation.
It's okay. It's just a little heavy-handed, I feel like. But there was a whole sequence at the end of episode 3 there, the sort of a fight scene that was so atmospheric and so creepy and so scary that it's amazing to me that, like, let's be honest, character design in Star Wars is pretty dated at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe not the newer stuff, but if you're looking at straight episodes 4 through 6 bad guys, you look at them today and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
But they still find a way to make those people terrifying.
They did a really good job with Darth Vader. If you go back and watch A New Hope, Darth Vader, when he first walks in, it's intimidating, but he just kind of like sort of swings his arm around. Yeah, and it's just kind of like not as scary. And then you watch the end of Rogue One, and you're like, oh my God, this guy will destroy everyone.
Yeah, no,
and
he's super, super scary.
They've done a good job of sort of retconning him as like, oh yeah, he's actually really powerful. And they just,
I think the scariest thing in my childhood, it was the scene in Evil Dead 2, where the eyeball flies in the girl's mouth when she's screaming. I used to have nightmares about that. But it was that, and then it was when Darth Vader infiltrates the Hoth ice base, and you see him walking through the ice tunnels at the very beginning, and you're like, oh, they're screwed. Like, it's over.
Yeah.
He's going to wreck shop. And it used to be so scary to me.
Man, yeah.
It stuck with me for years.
There's a whole lot of new media stuff that just popped up. Stranger Things 4 just came out.
Oh, it's so good.
I didn't watch 3, so
3 was okay. I
kind of heard it through Millie.
I liked it. I mean, I take it back. 3 was actually really good. I think
I like 3 a lot.
I think 1 is the best just because it's so unique and original. 3 was fantastic. The setting they had this whole mall setting that they nailed, like that 80s aesthetic of a mall, which a lot of people watching the show probably never got to experience. And they did a really great job with that. And then this season, though, apparently, I haven't seen it yet, but it's apparently a lot more horror-based and a lot more just kind of spooky.
Yeah, Millie told me it's a lot different and a lot scarier.
Yeah, it definitely dives into the horror, but 4 I think might be my favorite season so far.
Really?
4. Yeah, it's real good.
Well,
like
this is not big enough cardboard.
Oh, is it not big enough?
We'll have to make another piece.
More cardboard?
Well, you can just break it in half for now. Or you can just do it on the table.
Yeah, slide it off to get on the table. We can pull it onto a bigger piece of cardboard.
Or just I don't know. You're the puzzle master.
Yeah, I'll just make
Jeffrey.
it work.
You can figure it out. I trust you.
Speaking of scary things,
Scary things.
Daryl Deza Morgan official in the YouTube chat asked, "Have you guys been to Alton Towers in England?" And I was going to pull that into some of the Q&A because we pulled that off of the Thorpe Park episode we did about 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just want to know what you guys think of like Thorpe Park and kind of all those theme parks over there.
I really like Thorpe Park a lot. It's a very quaint little park. Some of the attractions in it were really, really good. A ride like the Swarm is the first one we did. It was one of the smoothest, cleanest rides we've done in a long time, and it was a great one to start out with. That being said, then doing something like Saw the Ride, that was a bit rougher. That one definitely knocked my head around quite a bit and was a bit rough. But no, I had a really good time. It was a lot of fun. Getting to ride something like, I told Jeff about this, like it's the first time I've been to a theme park where I went in completely empty, completely blank. And I really, really liked that. It was, the first time in a long time that I've gone in just blind. Like I had no idea what was gonna happen. And I really, really dug it. And just kind of like, I'm up for anything. I will ride anything, I will try anything. And I had some fun experiences. Like the Walking Dead ride was a lot of fun. There's some neat stuff in there. The theming of it was actually all really well done. But yeah, no, Thorpe Park was great. I would love to go back. I'd love to go to Alton Towers. That's the other park. Apparently that's, everyone was talking to us about. They're like, you have to go to Alton Towers. And yeah, and I've now made friends with Expedition Theme Park, who he does a lot of history stuff. He's actually from the UK. And so he was giving me some tips and stuff on what to do and like what other parks to go to. So we'll have to absolutely check more of those out someday. But Alton Towers was great.
Yeah, the question you asked in the Thorpe Park episode to the audience was, what non-Disney international park should we travel to next? And I pulled a few comments from that episode. Pulled these a week ago, so completely unprompted, don't know what this was in relation to. But Adam Wright on YouTube commented, as a UK annual passer, Thorpe Park and violence go hand in hand.
Okay.
Had JJ DeWitt comment, I was operating Black Mirror Labyrinth when you guys went through, and I had to do a triple take when I saw you on the CCTV cameras going through the attraction.
Oh, that's funny.
Had no idea you guys would be in the park that day, but it was an incredibly pleasant and surreal surprise.
Nice.
If only I could have said hello and thanked you all for the entertaining content I've seen over the years.
That's excellent.
That means we got to do a better job of advertising where we're going.
We tweeted about it.
No.
Anyway. That's cool.
We got Rachel Oldridge who asked or said, your next international park should be Canada's Wonderland. It's just outside of Toronto. I've been a season pass holder for the last few years, and it's a very fun park, a lot of really cool and unique coasters. It is also only a couple of hours drive from Clifton Hill at Niagara Falls, which has some really random and cool attractions, including a dark ride / shooter. I would love to see an RT community meet up at the same time. I'm a Brit living in Canada since 2019, so loved hearing your thoughts on Thorpe Park.
A dark ride shooter. I wonder if that's kind of like Space Ranger Spin or like the Men in Black ride kind of. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'd love to check that out. Actually, I just watched an old Defunctland episode about, I think it was called Adventureland in Australia, in Sydney. They actually had a theme park there that ran from like the late 80s up until like 2005. And Katie was upset because all of her friends went to it, but she never got to go, and they shut it down. So that's pretty sad. But yeah. So anyway, I love international parks. They're very cool.
It was like their action park?
Kind of. I mean, not like an action park. I mean, it was more of like a Six Flags type place. Like, but apparently it was really well done and it was handled well. But then the owner sold it off to another company and they kind of let it fall apart. And then then all went away and it's gone now.
In the Thorpe Park episode, you mentioned bringing me there so I can get kidnapped into the park. Is that right?
Yes. It's a service they offer.
Really happy for that journey for whoever wants to do that. Ramo on the site commented, Jeff, the mistake you made was going on the Colossus so early in the day. Ugh. My friend and I go every year, and the trips where we start with Colossus usually end up with us lying on benches regretting our life choices.
Yeah.
Slow loops really take their toll. And then they followed up with, regarding the hotel and Fright Nights, I stayed there during Fright Nights and they had scare actors roaming outside the halls at certain times. You had to put a do not disturb sign on your door if you didn't want a zombie bursting in on you unannounced.
Jesus.
Great, but absolutely terrifying when you're in your pajamas and they're clawing at the window.
That sounds awesome. I thought Thorpe Park was so incredibly charming.
Yeah.
It felt like a neighborhood theme park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it had like such a local, like, homey feel to it. I think I prefer that experience than the larger ones, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
It was wild the amount of like licensed IP they had in there too.
Yeah.
I mean, like we saw. I mean, obviously we did the Saw ride. There was a Walking Dead ride, but they also had like Angry Birds was in there, and I mean, like there's a lot of stuff. It's like, how did they get access to this? So I would love to go back and check it out more. All right, look, I made a little. That's a little like cotton candy.
Darren Brown.
Oh yeah, Darren Brown's Ghost Train, which we're not allowed to talk about. They specifically call it out, saying, "Do not spoil this thing."
Do not spoil this. Nothing to really spoil ride.
And also someone pointed out that we have a Discord as well. We have an annual pass Discord server. Feel free to join it. We'd love to have you there. We actually have the Rope Drop Running Club is kicking butt over there right now. We've been prepping for Marathon Weekend coming up in January, and I'm actually working right now with St. Jude to get us some charity bibs. We're going to be raising some money for St. Jude's Children's Hospital pretty soon. So probably the next stream we do in July, we'll be doing this on behalf of St. Jude. So check that out next month when we do this again.
Got a few Japan theme parks that we've been recommended we should go to.
Oh yeah, what are those?
Hi, Jack and Geoff. This is from Water Bubbles 995.
Water Bubbles.
The next park you should visit, since you're going to Japan anyways, is Nago Pineapple Park in Okinawa, where everything is about pineapples. Don't get too excited. It's not on mainland Japan, and the humidity is like Florida, and there are no roller coasters, but you can go try a not trademarked pineapple ice cream, not sponsored by Dole. I swear this has been the place with the juiciest and best tasting pineapples in the world.
Huh, okay.
And then someone also recommended Fuji Q in Japan. The coasters are awesome. I rode the coaster that apparently crushes your bones, and I was fine. I think you only need to worry if you have a bone deficiency.
Crushes your bones.
That was from Hiro Kiva on the website.
Jeff, you want to go get your bones crushed?
Yeah, why not, man?
That sounds fun. Speaking of Japan, Annual Pass is going to Japan at RTX this year. That's right. We're doing Annual Pass Goes to Japan. This is going to be our panel during RTX 2022 in Austin, Texas. You can grab tickets right now at rtxevent.com. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. It's going to be myself, Jeffrey, Ben, and probably BK as well. She's going to be joining the podcast. We're recording with her for the first time tomorrow, as a matter of fact.
Do I want to know what that is?
No, you'll be fine.
Okay.
We're taking the whole audience to Japan. We're all going to Japan. So if you ever wanted to go to Japan with the Annual Pass, join us at RTX 2022.
Would you say it's going to be a Japanal?
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, let's. So what was we asked? What park should we visit? So we should probably pick a winner because we always pick a winner, and we have autographed theme park maps that we give out, and we're going to start doing that now on here instead of in the individual episodes. So, Ben, why don't you select a random person to win an autographed theme park map from all of the people who answered the where we should go question?
I'm going to select Saffrican Luke.
Saffrican Luke.
On the site, because they gave us an answer including G-forces.
Oh, nice.
They said, I would love to hear you experience Gold Reef City in Johannesburg, South Africa, once it is back up to full operation after COVID. It is built on top of a decommissioned mine and includes a mine tour down to the 5th or 6th level, which is approximately 225 feet underground.
No.
The main ride, though, is the Tower of Terror, which starts with a 150 drop into an open mine shaft and has the highest G-force rating at 6.3 Gs.
Jesus.
No.
Deal. Let's do it.
As a bonus for Jack, there's a rhino and lion nature reserve about 42 minutes out of town where you can have a hands-on experience with a cheetah for about $10. And Jeff, the hotel at Gold Reef City is also a casino.
Hey.
I'll take it. I want to meet the cheetah. I don't want anything to do with being 250 feet under the ground, though.
I want to meet a cheetah.
See if we can get the cheetah on the ride with Jack.
Dude.
Straight down to the mine shaft.
There's a cheetah attraction at Busch Gardens, actually. There's a cheetah ride at Busch Gardens. That's really, really awesome. That I had a blast on. So I would love to do that again.
Would you go 1,000 feet underground, like to the deepest mine underground?
If safety precautions were there, yes, absolutely, I would. It's like when you go skydiving. It's like, yeah, if it was done properly, yeah, I would do it. Like I trust that they're not just going to throw you in. Like, good luck. Like, here's a canary, have fun.
I see no point in tempting fate.
I'm with you on that. Absolutely not.
There's nothing down there for me.
No.
So are you claustrophobic, or is it just the idea of going that deep?
No, I like confined spaces.
Okay.
I don't like the idea of being trapped. And you know what it is? I think I like being close to the topsoil. Like, because I don't want to go space either anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I used to when I was younger, but now I realize like I don't want to leave Earth. I don't want to be like I don't want to look at Earth.
Okay.
Like you know how they have that shot where you look down and you're like, oh, there's the whole planet.
The bright blue ball?
And I'm very far away from it. I'm very, very, and any one thing goes wrong and I'll never go back to that place.
In that moment, you realize how much you've messed up.
Yeah. So like, I want to stay around the topsoil, above or below, like just right.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of it.
I think that's fair. You don't want to get your bones crushed going up to space or whatever.
No. Or vaporized or burned to death or, yeah. Ugh. Drug into a flaming fire pit with the force.
Where's the? Oh yeah, okay. That's. I thought you were talking about the theme park again. I was like, where's the fire pit coming from? And, okay. Yeah. No, I'm all for that. Like I pretty much, I very much am good about sort of giving over my sense of safety to whomever is entrusted to ride it. Like planes. Like people have issues on planes. That's like where I feel the most serene is when I'm on a plane.
Yeah, I got no problems with planes.
I step onto a plane. I'm like, you know what? My fate is out of my hands right now. Like I in the next 4 hours or 3 hours, however long I'm on a plane, I have literally no control over the outcome of my body and my life. So I can embrace that and be okay with it. Some people have issues with that where they're like, that's no good. But I'm okay with it. So anyway. All right, now I have to move this.
I think Brian has some photos that you dropped in a.
Yeah, I put some photos up from our little trip. If we want to look through some of those. Those of you watching online right now over at youtube.com/annualpass or twitch.tv/roosterteeth, all of the places. Let's look at some photos. Look at that! Oh, that's from Guardians of the Galaxy. That's from Cosmic Rewind. Which this is very interesting. Okay, fun fact. Okay, so fun photo. That's me in the front row, obviously holding onto my hat. I turned my hat around backwards for. I knew there was a launch to start, and if you ever ride it, you'll understand why I'm holding onto my hat. Katie's next to me, obviously having a blast. And that's actually Dave Cobb directly behind me, our friend who was the Men in Black creator, who's also at our show in Florida. And next to him is his buddy Nathan. And Dave and Nathan are actually on a podcast called Rat Castle, which is an awesome podcast you should give a listen to if you like hearing some really cool takes on the industry, especially specifically Disney.
It's also a much funnier name than ours.
So anyway, give that a listen. Dave and Nathan are great, and Victoria and everyone else on the shows are awesome. So yeah, check that out. But yeah, that is Cosmic Rewind. And the wild thing about that is that's the photo you get from the ride. There is no branding on there, nothing like that. I will say now the photo, you can actually kind of see behind me and Dave, you can see another car back there. They've done a really good job in the actual final photos now to sort of crop out everything that's not you. So like if you look at ride photos now, they actually sort of do that mat around you. And so it hides everything behind you. So I still don't, I'm not 100% sure where the photo is. I think it's at the start or at a turn. I could be wrong. There's a number of places it could be.
I was going to say, that this gives me a better idea of where that camera might be.
I think it's right at the beginning. I think it's literally right at the beginning. So anyway.
Yeah, we got that Guardians photo. We got some of us out at...
Oh yeah, there's Ben and I on Haunted Mansion.
This was when I was testing out a lot of equipment, so I just had a GoPro attached to my head, and we were going through the Haunted Mansion ride. I think it's my favorite photo from the trip.
That was a good one. That was a lot of fun. Haunted Mansion was great. That's classic, man. I love Haunted Mansion.
What was your favorite ride in Disneyland?
Probably Guardians, but I feel like that's kind of a loaded question, you know?
Yeah.
The Pirates ride was really cool. Oh, here's us on like Main Street, right?
Yeah. So that's right in front of the castle.
Down on Main Street.
So there we are, like just at the end of Main Street, USA, and next to Casey's Corner and the beautiful 50th Castle right there. That's really cool. I love that. God, it's such a cool park. And then here we are in front of Universal, which Universal's birthday was yesterday. It was the 30th anniversary of Universal Florida.
If you look closely, because this is toward the end of our trip, you can see the soul leaving my body.
We are pretty beat by that point. Yeah, that's great. I love Universal.
I think we got one more. Yeah.
And yeah, there's me. So that's me in front of what is now Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which at the time, back in 2002, I worked at that ride when it was the Great Movie Ride. And so I was a cast member working in the Great Movie Ride. It's now Mickey and Minnie's. Still a great attraction, but I miss my old ride. So that's a good one though. Oh man, I've got so much Lego to build, you guys. There's so much. I feel like I've done nothing, but I'm establishing the base right now. So again, we'll see.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
How many days was it built in?
So it was built in 6 days.
Okay. I knew it was.
Jesus he rested on the 7th day after
building Rome.
Yeah. Pretty sure that's how that shook out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. He built Rome, and then when he was resting, they put him on
And
a
it was
cross.
definitely Jesus, yeah.
Actually, Expedition Theme Park just did a video on Holy Land, USA, which was the Jesus theme park in Orlando, Florida.
I almost went there once.
Well,
with Nathan Zellner.
It shut down now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually a really good video. It could be easy to kind of crap on a park like that. It's like, oh, whatever. But he did a really good job of kind of diving into and actually figuring out where it came from and the people behind it and everything. Highly recommend you check out that video.
Is that the one where like they had to make it free to go?
Yeah.
Once a day.
Yeah,
a year?
one day a year. They had to open it to the public because technically it was a church.
Tax exempt.
And so they got tax exempt status for it, but because of that, they were legally required to allow people to get in for free at least one day a year.
Man, Disney should start a religion.
I mean, you could argue they have.
Yeah.
To answer your question, favorite roller coaster at Disney, definitely Guardians.
Okay.
Top 3 roller coasters I think that I've been on since starting this podcast are Guardians, Velocicoaster, despite the fact that I felt like I was going to get yeeted to the moon on that ride, and Rise of Resistance,
Okay.
which we're working on pulling together some video content, youtube.com/annualpass. I think that was my favorite ride to have a camera on, because I was walking through just like a gimbal on our phone on a gimbal. And there's a lot of interaction with that ride.
Yeah. There's a lot of really cool stuff that I try to point out as many of the things as I could. Just all the neat stuff that happens in that attraction. And similar to Cosmic Rewind, I would say do not watch any ride-throughs of Cosmic Rewind. Whatever you do your darndest to actually just ride it for the first time. Like wait in line, ride that thing. I know it's a virtual queue right now. But you want to experience that in person for the first time because it's breathtaking. And watching it, I've now gone back and watched ride-throughs. It does not do it any sort of justice. You do need to watch that thing, or you do need to ride that thing to get the sort of full scope of what it is. So highly, highly recommend that if you're ever going to ride it, don't watch anything about it, just ride the thing. And how many people in chat right now have actually ridden it before? I'm curious about that. Like if you're watching live right now, let us know. Let us know.
Keep an eye on the chat.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that ride, completely no context for the audience, was someone asking you if you were an only child.
Yeah. I get excited when I go to theme parks. What can I say? It's fun, man.
You just said, no, I'm a YouTuber, but.
Yeah, that's basically the same thing.
Got some more comments I've pulled from.
Oh yeah, make sure to mark the winner of that first one. Okay, good. And if you do win a theme park map, I'll reach out to you very soon and make sure to get your information to mail you the map. So yeah.
So finally looping back to talking about horror. This was from the episode The Walking Dead, the ride. The question was, what horror ride would you like to see?
Ooh.
So we got from Sam1231 on the RT site. My answer would be Resident Evil. Either Escape from Raccoon City or something similar. Would love for it to be similar to Rise, no spoilers, where it's like an immersive kind of ride you're trying to escape. There's been a Resident Evil Escape Raccoon City house at Halloween Horror Nights, just to take it a step further.
Okay.
I agree with that.
I think that'd be really good. I would love a ride themed around the Haunting of Hill House or Haunting of Bly Manor.
There was a
Horror Nights house, right?
Yeah, there's Halloween Horror Nights house this year.
We did that.
Of Haunting of Bly Manor. We went on it. Yeah, it was pretty horrifying.
So those series are well done in that they have a lot of hidden ghosts in the background of the scenes. And I think it would make a great creepy ride where there are hidden ghosts everywhere and jump scares. The mansions also create a large space where you could easily move through them in a ride.
Yeah. Could they do? I didn't watch the series, but could they do a Midnight Mass house? I don't know how. I don't know what the spookiness of that is, because the same guy, Mike Flanagan, who did Haunting of Hill House, also did Midnight Mass.
Our buddy Rahul's in.
Yeah, that's what I was curious.
Right?
It'd be fun. Like I'm sure if we worked it out, we could probably get Rahul to come and join us and go through a house if they ever did something like that. I don't know if he likes scary stuff, but Rahul,
well, he was. Well, didn't you say he mentioned something about Thorpe Park?
Yeah. He said Thorpe Park was like his jam when he was a kid. So I told him next time we come out to it, like we'll have to get him out too. So.
From Matt Stallings, I personally think that a roller coaster ride themed around A Quiet Place movies would be a cool concept. You could keep it relatively dark for some sections, but jump scares during full lighting would get me the most. Some sections you could slow the cars down to give the scenes a storyline and have triggers that would activate sounds, making the animatronic creatures come after you. Then you rocket off at high speeds to escape the coming danger.
Man, that roller coasters, they have changed so much since I was a kid. Like, think of something like Ben, you rode Space Mountain, and then we turn around and ride something like Cosmic Rewind, which there is a story in Cosmic Rewind as you're blasting around the cosmos. And like that was.
Well, now I know there's Cosmos blasting. Thanks.
And that was like unheard of, like a roller coaster is kind of like, all right, you get on a thing, get on a train, you spin around, and you're done. But then you get stuff like, like a rock and roller coaster, whereas like there's sort of a narrative to it, but now they're really taking it to the next level with attractions like, something like Revenge of the Mummy, or Cosmic Rewind. I keep coming back to it, but yeah, like there's so many amazing, cool things they're doing.
Velocicoaster had a good story.
Yeah, Velocicoaster has
a great story.
An awesome story as well.
I just remembered Space Mountain. We're getting ready. I was trying to film footage. I had a GoPro attached to my chest. The whole wait in the line to get in, go in and sit down on the coaster. And Jack goes, "Oh yeah, by the way, you're not going to get anything with that. It's just dark the whole time." So I have a good 10 minutes of just Jack and I screaming space for that whole ride, and that's it. Couldn't see anything.
That was a fun one.
Monk Z90, Universal Classic Monster Unleashed. You find yourself in the vaults of a Universal studio where there are a number of cells or crates or some kind of holding place that have been broken open. The monsters are loose. You have to escape or you're trapped and forgotten forever. The Mummy, the Wolfman, Dracula, Creature from the Black Lagoon, the Phantom of the Opera. It could definitely be a dark coaster that hurls you through the archives with narrow encounters with each one. It could even have some eerie synthwave soundtrack that samples from the properties as well.
Ooh.
That guy's username gave me an idea for a better coaster than that. What if there was a monk roller coaster and it was like the Jimmy Fallon style and you're going all around San Francisco trying to solve crimes, but you can't touch anything. Or if you do touch stuff, you have to touch it 3 times. And you have to solve a murder mystery instead of going to the moon.
You think Tony Shalhoub is there actually like checking your seat for you?
Yeah.
Like, okay. And he like checks every seat multiple times before they let you go. Yeah, I'd be down for that. That'd be cool.
We got Twisted Lazarus.
Well, real quick, I want to say also, like if you are a big fan of Universal Monsters, you're going to be very excited for Epic Universe, which opens up in a couple years, 2025, because they have a whole Universal Monsters land. So you're in for a treat.
So suck on that,
my friend.
Also on that note, I pulled a bunch of news items that we can talk about later in the show. But one of them is they confirmed one of the Halloween Horror Nights houses that involves a bunch of monsters.
Nice.
Yeah. Twisted Lazarus in the site says, I think the Alien and Predator franchises need to get a shot at the dark for a roller coaster, perhaps in the same vein as Dueling Dragons that was at Universal.
Yeah.
The coaster could be an interior with lots of darkness for Alien and interior for Predator. The coasters might use the same space, but the experiences would be wildly different. The intermingling of themes and light and dark could make for an exhilarating ride. Also, both franchises provide great room for theming for queue spaces and break stops.
I do like the idea of having a coaster that will change. Like we've never really seen that where it's like you get on it and it could be a totally different experience every time you ride, or at least a couple different experiences. Something like Tower of Terror and Mission Breakout, they have that where there are some sort of randomized elements to it, but I love the idea of that being like a roller coaster, where it's like, all right, what's the theme we're gonna get this time? And I think as we get more along the lines of augmented reality attractions, so something like the Mario Kart attraction at Universal Japan, it's coming to Hollywood very soon. Where it's like interactive type stuff, I think we're gonna get more stuff like that, where no 2 experiences will be the exact same, and I love that idea. And I love the idea of gamifying a theme park as well. You all right, Jeff?
Yeah.
You stuck? You almost done?
No, I'm not stuck at all. Some of these pieces are difficult. They fit very close. They're very close to fitting together. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Like these 2. Yeah.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
Well, Eric Benson says, I got to ride it once the weekend before it opened to the public. Nice.
I assume that's talking about Guardians.
Yeah, talking about Guardians here. Alton Tower Scarefest is the best scare event in the UK. Fright Nights at Thorpe Park. Also really good for Halloween, says Daryl Daza Morgan official.
Ooh, Kevin Batman brings up a good point. Meow Wolf is coming to Texas.
That's right. Meow Wolf is opening in Houston.
And Dallas. Not in Austin.
We got to go. That'd be cool.
Absolutely. I mean, we got to go. I want to go to the Vegas location.
It's good. I want to go to the Denver location.
Yeah, Denver would be pretty cool.
That's supposed to be the one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When we went and visited them, do you remember we did the tour and we saw them building that giant
the cathedral?
Cathedral. That's Denver.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely want to go. I mean, I just love the idea of going there for anything. So
Absolutely.
okay.
How's your puzzle? This is a puzzle. How's your Lego going?
It's going all right. This is the base of it here. I don't know. We don't have the overhead shot, but it's going to be big. This is only 1/2 of the actual whole thing. So it's another one. So it's like this big. It's massive.
How long do you think it's gonna take you to build that?
How many pieces is it? It is.
Show the box to the camera again.
It's 4,124 pieces.
Jesus.
So there you go. Where am I showing?
4,000 pieces.
Yeah. So it's 4,000 pieces, which is about the Millennium Falcon was 7,000 pieces.
And you did that.
That took me about 30 hours.
Okay.
So it's about 500 pieces an hour. So you're looking at about 8 hours, I'm guessing.
Is that the most Millennium Falcon? The biggest thing you've done?
It's the biggest thing I've done. It's now the second largest Lego set that exists behind the Titanic, appropriately. But it's still the most expensive one, which is interesting. The Titanic has more pieces, but is less costly than the.
Less James Cameron fans out there.
What
guess so.
a good segue to talk about the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run.
Hey!
But first, I want to choose a winner for the Walking Dead one.
Yeah, please.
So I chose Nerdy Saint, who said, I would make an Evil Dead franchise-themed roller coaster.
Ooh.
It wouldn't be retelling of any specific movie and instead be a new story. Of course, you would have Bruce Campbell as Ash, as a narrator / audio animatronic. For the ride vehicles, you could make them look kind of like the Oldsmobile that Raimi put in all of his movies. The coaster would be themed around fleeing from some Deadites. Some dark ride segments would feature animatronic Ash fighting off animatronic zombies. Perhaps the ride vehicle could become possessed by a demon, and that will start the high-speed thrill ride aspect of the coaster. Could be a good mix of scary and fun with a lot of fun show scenes and high-intensity thrills.
That's a clever idea. Dave Cobb, if you're listening, pitch that to Universal. Let's make it happen.
And then the question you asked for the Millennium Falcon episode was, who would be your perfect lineup for the Millennium Falcon?
Oh yeah. So you have 2 pilots, 2 engineers, 2 gunners, and so who would be your lineup for the Millennium Falcon?
We got Zephyr on the Win, who commented, Jeff asked about Harrison Ford reacting to the full-built Millennium Falcon. There's actually a story of one of the set designers bumping into him early in the build. The designer asked about the cockpit in particular, and Ford mentioned that the switches never stayed up when you toggled them. Eventually, Ford got on set, and when the toggle stayed in place, he was overjoyed. Melody Dia, the reason Grogu / Baby Yoda didn't have any merch at launch was because Disney / Jon Favreau were dead set on not having any Grogu revealed in Episode 1 of The Mandalorian spoiled. Wow. So much so that they actively chose not to make any merch and also actually removed that scene entirely from review copies of the show. And while the old Timothy Zahn novels are no longer canon, he's written 6 more Star Wars novels in the last 5 years that are.
Wow.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
That's like the Thrawn stuff, right?
So they decanoned his old novels, but canoned his new ones.
Yeah, they kind of wiped out the previous stuff, like the older stuff.
Ace of Aces 007 said, my dream roster for Smuggler's Run would be Hayden Christensen as my co-pilot. After all, Anakin Skywalker was the best pilot in the galaxy. Daisy Ridley, Rey, and D. Bradley Baker, voice of all the clone troopers, including the best clone Captain Rex, as the gunners. And Jack and Geoff as the engineers.
No.
I think it would be cool to get them all in a room together, given that each represent different phases of the growth of Star Wars, whether that is the prequels, the animated shows, and the sequels. Plus, how could you not include our intrepid annual pass hosts in something like this?
Aw. There you go. That person wins.
Okay.
5
job,
maps
Ace of
for them. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see here. We got Jimmy King 211. My dream roster would be Alan Tudyk and David Tennant as my 2 pilots. How could you not have Wash and the Doctor as your pilots? I would be one of the gunners, and I would have Tim Rosen, Doc Holliday from, I'm going to butcher this, Winona Earp?
Winona Earp?
Yeah, let's go with that one. As my other gunner. How could you not have Doc Holliday as your other gunner? My 2 engineers would be Elizabeth Hinstridge, and I'm going to let you read this one.
Where is it? Elizabeth and D. K. Stecker? Or Ian de Kestecker.
Nailed it.
Sure.
How could you not have Fitzsimmons from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. be your 2 engineers? This would be 100% my dream roster to ride Smuggler's Run with. I would love for them to be the characters they play, but the actors and actresses would be just as cool.
It's funny they mentioned Alan Tudyk as Wash, because Alan Tudyk was K2SO in Rogue One, and he was he was
I
a
forgot
pilot.
about that.
So it's like, okay, that you would go there.
We had a few people comment just like basically the cast of Firefly as their engineers. The most chaotic one I love from F1 Ferrari Girl My lineup would be Gus because he's trained to be a pilot and would be super excited.
Oh.
Fred and George Weasley because they seem like they'd be able to joke their way through some tough situations. And Sherlock and John Watson because they'll be the brains of the operation. 2 people I would not pick are Michael and Gavin because they would yell too much and crash the Falcon in 30 seconds.
That sounds about right. Oh, man. Yeah, that attraction is super, super fun. And that kind of goes back to the new sort of interactive attractions you see, which I think we're going to get more stuff like that. I think computers now have reached a point where, sort of that old school style, like your Star Tour style, where it's like you're sitting in a theater that's moving around. They actually talked about it on Rat Castle this week, I think. It's just kind of, it's old school. Like, it doesn't feel like it's, as much fun anymore. It's like, I'm just kind of sitting in a box, whatever, no big deal. But you want to be like, I want to pilot the Millennium Falcon. Like, I want to sit there. I want to pull the levers and whatnot. And I want to shoot at things. And as opposed to like, all right, Rex is going to pilot you here. Here we go. Good luck. Bye. So I think that's definitely the future of attractions.
Eric Benson asked in the YouTube chat, do you think that Universal building Epic will force Disney to build a 5th theme park finally?
I mean, it makes sense. Like, Disney, I mean, you can see now Disney is running out of space, which is wild to think because Disney has so much room on their property. Like, Disney, that's the one thing they own. Like, Reedy Creek is enormous, and they have kind of sat back on their laurels. It feels like the last 4 or 5 years, especially, and they've kind of ignored like any sort of expansion. They've done the Guardians coaster, but now like Tron's coming up. But after Tron, there's really not a whole lot in construction right now. There's not a lot of new stuff being built. And so, Tron's going to come out. They're going to kind of sit back, not do anything for a couple of years. And then Epic Universe is going to open in 2025 with a whole new theme park for a lot less for a lot less expensive. And I think Disney's going to have to be like, oh, we have to respond to that. And I think Disney right now is doing like, they're sort of catching the post-pandemic people, like, I can finally get out of my house again. So they're getting this massive flood of people who have, pushed off vacations for the past couple of years. And people are like, I love Disney, and Disney's taking advantage of that and nickel and diming a lot of people. There's a lot of stuff going on right now where, you're getting charged for stuff that in the past you weren't charged for, like the whole Fast Pass thing, the Genie Plus stuff. It sucks because like I would do that for free when I was there before, just not 10 years ago. And I think at some point the consumers are going to turn on that. It's going to be like, oh, we don't want to have to pay for all of this stuff anymore. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go have a lot more fun. Let's go to the new place. We can go ride this Velocicoaster thing. We can ride all of these new rides. We can ride this whole new theme park. And I think there's going to be a turn, and I think Disney's going to have to play catch up at the tail end of the 20s. So we'll see. I could be totally wrong, but I've got a feeling that Disney's definitely going to get its sort of comeuppance by the end of this decade. In my opinion.
Yeah, based on us going and trying to figure out how like Genie Plus worked and everything, it feels very much like a microtransaction thing.
Yeah.
It just felt weird.
Yeah, it definitely feels wrong to pay to ride an individual attraction after paying so much to get inside of a theme park. So, I don't know. That's my 2 cents. I could be totally wrong.
Leon Vane on YouTube asks, is it true that Annual Pass is responsible for the best-selling RT shirt of the year?
Technically, yes.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. And so, if you want to grab an Annual Pass shirt, go to store.roosterteeth.com. Make sure to pick up the Annual Pass shirt. It says Annual Pass written out, made up to look like the old school Universal Studios logo. It's really awesome. Make sure you grab the one that says Annual Pass on it, though.
We should get like a cease and desist out on that.
Yeah, I know we should. Absolutely. Yeah. So there's people trying to copy our original creations here.
Mm-hmm. Our original creations based off of other theme
exactly
logos. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh man.
So many shirts sold.
So many shirts. It's mind-boggling how many people have picked up
bought an unwearable shirt.
Yeah. Or they'll wear it once and they go, that's funny. And then I can't imagine how many of those we're going to be signing at RTX this year. There's going to be quite a few, I imagine.
So you say unwearable. I love that there were people in the audience of the podcast who are definitely wearing some.
There were 6 people wearing them.
That might be the only place you can wear it, around other people who understand the joke behind it. So But anyway, more power to you. If you want to buy that shirt, it's great.
The annual pass shirt's pretty nice, though.
Annual pass shirt is fantastic. I'm rocking my new Guardians of the Galaxy spaceships shirt. This is the this is one of the.
That's from.
Yeah, so Nathan, who was actually in that photo, he went after the opening of the ride, and they had some like launch merchandise, and this is one of them. I love it. It's got the Benatar, it's got one of the Nova Corps ships, and the Spaceship Earth. Pretty cool. I like it. They kind of went for the old school look for their merchandise, which I dig a lot. Jeff, how's the puzzle going?
Yeah, it's fine.
What are you working on? Do you have the entire outside done?
For the most part, I can't put it all together because of the size of this cardboard. So I'll solve that problem later. I'm just focusing on stuff on the inside.
Yeah, we'll get one of those like those travel things where you can
mat.
where you can like put it in a bag and seal it up so you don't have to worry about it getting messed up. Because I don't think you're gonna finish that probably the next maybe 2 or 3 sessions.
Yeah, it'll take me a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm not in a hurry though.
That's okay. That's okay.
This is the part of doing a puzzle at home where it starts to get frustrating and I walk away and do something else in my house for a little while. I just realized I'm not home. I can't do that.
You can answer questions with Ben if you like.
I'm stuck here with this.
Well, so the next question we have reminded me of something really cool that happened on the trip that we were on.
Okay.
But the question is, this is from the firework interview questions, which is, what's the best fireworks show that you've ever seen? The best fireworks show I've ever seen was the only one that I saw while we were there on the trip, which is we saw a fireworks show from what was the ride? The car ride?
Test track.
Test track.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, we had we built our car. We ended up having to wait in line, and then just as we were going to get on the ride, rain broke out, and we had to leave the ride for a little bit. And then we went to go do the Guardians coaster. And then after that was done, we came back at night and realized that as we were getting on the track to like jet off, the fireworks show was about to start. So we, the way the ride works, we've done an episode on it. Check out the podcast. They kind of like test your car on a track and show you like kind of different like turning speeds and all that other radius stuff. And then they kind of just shoot you out to like a roadway that loops around outside. And like as we came outside, just fireworks were popping off left and right.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was really cool.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was the first time that ever happened. Because, we weren't really going to stay for the fireworks. But then, sure enough, I was like, oh, wow, there they are. And
that must be what it feels like to win an F1 race.
Yeah, probably.
It was pretty rad. It was certainly one of those things. Like, that was super cool.
So, from the YouTube, Laurel, heading to Disney the first week of June, and I'm excited to see both new fireworks shows. Happily Ever After is probably my favorite, though. But years ago, when I was a kid, my stepdad got hit in the head by a fireworks shell on the side of the castle.
Jesus.
We probably could have gotten like free stuff, but he was fine other than a small bump, so we didn't say anything.
Wow.
That's why it's her favorite.
I'm assuming there was probably like an exploded shell at that point. Like it wasn't like a lit firework hit him. Like that would have been probably not good.
From Little Big Eyes on the site, my favorite fireworks show was when I saw Holiday Wishes at Magic Kingdom. It was the first time in quite a while that I'd been back to Disney World, and it was the first time I'd been there at Christmas. It isn't even the best fireworks display I've seen, but the real reason this show is so special to me is because it was the last family vacation I got to share with my grandparents when they were still totally healthy.
Aw.
Every time I think of that beautiful icicle light-covered castle, I'm reminded of them.
Oh, that's sweet. I love stories like that. I love when people have experiences along like in that kind of nature. Like that makes me really happy, and I'm happy for them. That's really cool.
Let's see here, from JB33 on the site. Back in 2010, my wife, still dating at the time, went to Disney together for one of our first vacations together.
He doesn't say who his wife is dating, though.
Yeah.
The flight down from New York was rough. We finally got to the hotel, and our luggage was late arriving to the room. We figured we'd walk around Magic Kingdom for a bit before our dinner reservation, and of course, being Florida in the fall, it began to rain. We made our way to the restaurant, can't remember which one, but one of the classier ones, in our wet, casual clothes, and about midway through our meal, all the lights in the restaurant went dim, and we had a perfectly clear view of the fireworks across the water at Magic Kingdom.
Aw.
Seeing that made us forget all about the mishaps of our day and really set the mood for the rest of the day.
That's sweet.
We finally solved the problem of my wife dating that guy. Came to an agreement.
All right. From I think this is going to be my winner for the episode. This is from Nerda. Maybe not the best, but the most memorable show I've seen was a 4th of July show when we went to visit a college friend of my wife in rural Iowa. The fireworks were all set up in an empty field, and they lit them with road flares. The craziest part was when a dud went up about 25 feet and then exploded on the ground. The show paused for about 10 minutes so they could check that everyone was okay, and then went right on its way again. I've certainly seen more elaborate shows, but this is the one I've always remembered.
That's awesome. I'm glad everyone was safe, but I remember when in Texas they kind of you have a lot of stuff like that. When I was growing up, there was a field out near Westwood High School off of like 183 up in North Austin that it was a soccer field, but it was surrounded by a bunch of neighborhoods, and everyone is kind of somehow like quietly, subconsciously agreed that that's the place you would go launch fireworks. So we called it the Ring of Fire. And it was everyone was surrounding this soccer field, launching fireworks towards the middle. And just every now and then, about every 10 minutes, you'd hear you go, "Oh God!" And then just an explosion, and like this color would go everywhere, and just people were laughing. And I mean, it was like I've never been in a war before, but I imagine that's what it's like, because it's just like just nonstop noise and explosions and sound and people screaming.
Not as much laughing in war.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
There's a similar comment in here that says Penn State's choreographed fireworks show. For several years, it was the largest fireworks show to set to music, even larger than Disney. The two best ones I remember was smiley face explosions set to Bobby McFerrin's "Don't Worry, Be Happy." And the year one whole bank misfired and the entire 40-minute show was set off at once on the ground. For approximately 35 seconds at night, it looked like a nuclear bomb had been set off. It was brighter than a noonday sun.
Jeez. Yeah, I've seen video of that where there's like a 4th of July sort of celebration, like it's triggered all at once by accident, and it's pretty impressive. It's definitely one of those things like, wow, that's not what was meant to happen, but ooh, it looks cool. I got those. 2 little greeny things. Is it a blue one? Blue. I'm approaching the end of my first bag, and we're approaching the end of the first hour of our stream. How are you guys doing in chat? Thank you again. If you are tuning in live right now, thanks for watching. You can subscribe to our channel over at youtube.com/annualpass. We've shot a ton of video content when we were out in Florida this past time, and that's going to be hitting pretty soon. We're working right now trying to figure out the editor's schedule to figure out who's going to be working on what, but we have a lot of stuff. I'm going to be putting up some content on our TikTok account as well pretty soon. I'm going to start doing sort of like daily updates on kind of like any sort of news stories I hear that happen in theme parks and whatnot. So yeah, you can check that out. We're Annual Pass Pod over on TikTok. BK is helping me understand how TikTok works because I'm an old man, and she knows how this stuff actually goes off. So she's going to be helping with that. And yeah, so check all that stuff out, and we're very happy to continue doing this and trying to spread the love of Annual Pass, and make sure to tell your friends about Annual Pass and how much you love it and how much you listen to every episode multiple times.
Yeah, that's I guess can't be understated or overstated enough. These shows live and die by word of mouth.
Yeah.
And so for a show like Annual Pass to continue, and for us to get to continue to live Jack's dream, it really would help if you would just promote us to people that you think might be interested in it or might enjoy it. Maybe even they're not huge into theme parks. They just like friendships and hearing people talk about I don't know, pleasant, nice stuff.
Yeah. It's more than anything, it's just a fun podcast that we get to talk about things that I'm passionate about. So I'm just gonna basically speak at Geoff at length about
I love it.
my love of various things. But yeah, and also make sure to point out that it is family friendly. That is one of the things we got going for us, the fact that we are the most family friendly podcast in all of Rooster Teeth. So
it's not even close.
Yeah, is there another family friendly podcast at Rooster Teeth that you can think of?
No.
30 Morbid Minutes, maybe?
Yeah, that's probably
Close.
Thematically, maybe not.
Yeah.
I feel like I see a lot of stuff on social media, and even when we were at the parks, like ran into fans just like casually listening to it in line, waiting for rides.
Yeah.
Recommending it to other people waiting in rides.
Yeah, you have a lot of downtime when you're in line for something like Rise of the Resistance. So feel free to, listen to Annual Pass while you're waiting in line.
I was going through looking at all the footage we got, like at the parks. There's some. I'd completely forgotten about that one food item we ate.
Oh yeah, we had Ben and I we shared the 50th hot dog or whatever, 50th special edition hot dog at Casey's Corner.
Tell me.
What do you think is on a 50th anniversary hot dog, Geoff?
I mean, I can tell you what I would put on a 50th anniversary.
What would
hot
you
dog.
put on a 50th anniversary?
I would put ketchup and mustard. I would put onions. I would put relish. I would put those little peppers like on a Chicago dog. And I'd probably put crumbled bacon.
Ooh.
And and that'd be it. That'd be it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd sprinkle some sesame seeds on it or whatever.
What about like strawberries?
No, I probably wouldn't put strawberries on a hot dog.
No? Yeah. What about powdered sugar? I think that was on there, right?
Oh yeah, I got the list right here.
So it's like a dessert.
Yeah, it's a dessert, but the issue was the fact that the dessert also included a beef hot dog at the base. And so I don't know if you've ever
Had beef for dessert.
I don't know if you've ever had sweet with savory when it comes to hot dogs mixed with literally anything sweet. It is a very unique taste, and
Ooh, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
not a huge fan of that one. Not a huge fan, but we filmed it all. Didn't get very far into it. I'll say.
It is an all-beef hot dog topped with strawberry bacon jam, crisp funnel cake pieces, and powdered sugar.
Yeah,
Let me tell you, there's a lot of savory beef juices in that dog. Mixes great with the strawberry.
Yeah, that was a very unique experience, to say the absolute least.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah, you could argue that. You could argue that for sure. Wait a minute. Okay, so this has. Is it just the bottom? Oh, the bottom one's okay. There we go.
What's your next theme park experience going to be, Jack?
I don't know. We actually yesterday I was talking with some of the guys over at Achievement Hunter about possibly taking like a bus down to Fiesta, Texas.
Oh yeah.
And just kind of like just taking the crew down there and
Having a day?
yeah, just like spend
Team
like
building?
a Tuesday or something going down to Six Flags, because it's only about an hour away, and we could probably rent some kind of van or something to get most of us down there. And we've been talking about doing that for years. We talked about taking Achievement Hunter on a trip forever.
Yeah, we used to want to go tubing back in the day.
Yeah, and so now that it's 400 degrees outside in Texas, like maybe tubing is back up in the as an option.
Dude, it's so hot right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm over COVID finally, and it really put a dent in my training schedule for my marathon in January. And so I'm like a month behind where I want to be right now, which it sucks because I don't know if you know anything about running, but being that far behind now, I feel like I'm, starting over to some extent, which is a huge, huge pain.
Well, it's got to be demoralizing too.
Yeah, but I mean, I've done it before, so I know I can do it again. It's just, I wish I was further along than I am now. So, but we got the Rope Drop Running Club over on our Discord server. They've been giving lots of love and support. So all of us together will be kicking some butt. And also, we're going to be doing a 5K. So me and Josh Flanagan are going to be running a 5K at the start of I think Saturday morning at RTX. So if you're interested in running along with Josh and I, he's in much better shape than I am. So he'll if you want to run with the cheetahs, you can run with him. If you want to pace yourself, you can run with me. So that should be good times. That'll be happening Saturday morning at RTX.
Gross.
You want to go? You want to run with us, Jeff?
I'm good.
Nah?
Well, say hi to Josh for me, though.
Okay, I will. That dude is in shape, man. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter, but he's doing like American Ninja Warrior style stuff. It's like, okay, I get it. You're much more buff than I am. But, all right, Ben, what do we got going on in chat right now?
Oh, let me check.
Well, where the...
Someone really wants us to do a video for the grand opening of the Doctor Diabolical at Fiesta, Texas, the Six Flags ride that's opening up.
Dr. Diabolical, what is that?
You've probably seen footage of it. It's like a 100 and, I'm gonna butcher this, 20-degree drop. Like,
I think I have seen that actually.
Yeah, they've had a lot of promotional material for it. It's in the Six Flags, like right outside of San Antonio. It looks really cool. I'm excited about that. I would actually ride that.
Yeah?
Having like built up. I think we've talked about it before, but last year we had planned to go to Six Flags, and I think someone got sick or wasn't able to go.
Yeah, I think I got sick, and then Jeff had some family stuff. It was like everything kind of all hit at the same time.
Yeah.
It kind of fell apart right before we were supposed to go, and so me and the Dennis, the editor for Annual Pass, kind of just went, well, let's just go out to Six Flags and we'll scope it out. And he goes all the time. Got one for me? Oh, yeah. Now you have it, Geoff.
What did I get?
I just kicked a little Lego guy over to you.
Oh, thank you.
Dennis walked me through all of the theme park rides from like least scary to most scary. And like just kind of stepped me through riding each of the rides until the end I was just like going buck wild for all of like the wild rides there, like the Wonder Woman ride. But they have a lot of like, they're building up toward that Dr. Diabolical's ride, and it has like, it looks wild.
Yeah.
It looks like kind of in the same scope as like some of the rides that I remember you were telling Geoff, was it the Titan?
Yeah, the Titan up in Dallas is a really, really solid one.
I'm gonna look up some footage.
Is
and stuff of this.
Dr. Diabolical a villain or is he a hero?
I mean, with a name like Diabolical, I'm going to guess probably a villain.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I could be wrong on that, but that certainly is a very villain-esque name.
150 feet tall, 2,500 feet of track, 60 mile per hour top speeds, a 95-degree beyond vertical drop, followed by a 75-foot near vertical drop.
Oh, well, near vertical.
It seems like we'd be playing into his hands by riding his ride. It seems like that's what he wants from us. So maybe boycotting that ride is the way to go.
Okay. I finished the first batch of the coaster. Got the base here. Now I'm going to start building up, it looks like. We're building some frameage on it. And how are all you lovely people over in chat? You don't prepare for the south heat, you endure or avoid it. Says Leon. Yes, that is 100% correct.
God, I was so tricked into thinking it wasn't so bad like a week ago.
Oh, dude, I knew it was going to be bad this year because we got no rain.
Yeah.
And so that's the one thing about Texas is like if you get rain, at least the ground can sort of support being super hot, but because moisture happens and it's like, okay, maybe it won't be as bad. This year we got nothing, so it's gonna be bad.
I want to go to that water park that's in Round Rock, the Kalahari Resorts.
Oh yeah, the indoor one.
Yeah.
Well, they got hit by the tornado?
Yeah, the one got hit by the tornado.
I've got contact up there actually, so I might be able to pull that off.
That'd be cool. Maybe another like kind of unique. I want to do more of these like unique theme parks, like Six Flags and I say unique, but like,
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, I found Thorpe Park to be more charming and enjoyable than most of the other places.
I'm all for that.
I was looking up different things we could talk about today on this live stream, and I found let's talk about very unique theme parks with Jack, and of course that led me into a whole rabbit hole of theme parks in Japan. There's a Dragon Quest island that apparently is just a full island devoted to the Dragon Quest video game. That's a theme park.
Dragon Quest must be pretty popular over there.
Oh yeah.
That's one thing that actually Dave Cobb was talking about on Rat Castle. He was talking about how theme parks in Japan are often the most literal version of a theme park. It's literally just a park. Like there's no rides or anything like that. Usually it's just like, oh, here's a themed area where it's like, he was talking about the new Ghibli land. Like there's gonna be a Ghibli theme park. And he's like, honestly, that'll probably open with no rides. It'll probably just be like attractions and like shows and whatnot and just cool experiences. But as far as it comes down to actual rides, probably won't be the case. So it's like, oh, that makes sense, I guess. So.
Yeah, it looks like there's like different tiers of like tickets you can buy, and then depending on the tier of ticket, it sends you on like different Dragon Quest adventures. So like fighting monsters and like you team up with some of the heroes from the video game. It looks pretty cool. See if I can send this image to Brian.
Are you a big Dragon Quest fan?
Oh, not at all. That's Brian Garr. But like I like video games, so I'd check it out. It looks cool.
Brian Garr's a big Dragon Quest fan.
It's like the only video game he plays, apparently.
Interesting.
He's also a big Shipwreck fan as well.
Yeah. Let's go pull this up.
Well, now I want to know what else he likes.
So, Geoff, how far along are you on the puzzle?
I'm almost done.
Do you have the entire outside frame, or are you missing a few?
I think I'm missing like
pieces?
maybe 2 edge pieces, but I'm no concern there.
Okay. No concern. You got this. You can handle it.
Yeah, I don't necessarily build the full outside first anyway.
Ah.
You just kind of get enough to find something interesting and then dive in to the middle.
So that's a pretty convenient puzzle because there's a lot of sort of different things you can do with it. Like I'm just looking at the map. You can get like all the yellow and sort of do all the like the pathing.
I'm just doing all the wording now.
Yeah. So that's going to be a little bit simpler for you, right? This is like a cakewalk for.
Easy peasy.
you and your expertise.
Most puzzles are about the same. They're the ones that are like meant to be obtuse tend to be, but for the most part, puzzles are of similar difficulty, I find.
Fun times.
When's your next trip to Japan, Ben?
That is a good question. The country opens up again for the first time since COVID really hit. I think like next month.
Oh, really?
2 months from now. Yeah, they've still been pretty closed off to like a lot more of the country.
I mean, I didn't know they were opening back up, honestly.
Yeah, they're just now starting to. It sounds like they're starting to approve people to come over for tourism.
Wow.
So yeah,
That is going to be packed.
Probably. I would love to go again either by the end of this year, or end of next year,
Yeah. Yeah.
or earlier and go do a bunch of theme parks.
That's true.
Will you go visit Cole?
Yeah, probably. See if anything, I'll get him to go to Super Nintendo World with me or something.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Well, Super Nintendo World's going to be opening up at Universal Hollywood. There's rumors that it may actually be soft open by the end of this year. We're pretty far along right now. But that being said, the version, the Super Nintendo World version in Japan is pretty small, and the one in Hollywood is even smaller. So
Really?
like there's a Yoshi ride in Japan that won't be open in Hollywood because they don't have the room for it. That being said, they're building it for Epic Universe, and at Epic Universe, it's going to. Did I do that right? I don't know. At Epic Universe, it's going to be massive. They actually have a Donkey Kong ride they're building, like a Donkey Kong Country ride. That's going to be pretty rad. So I'm pretty pumped for that.
Well, they announced that the Mario Kart stuff, like they showed images and I think a video, right, for what's going to be at Universal.
I think so.
Pull it up. I pulled a bunch of news items for like theme park stuff that's happened in the last month too. So
That is smart.
right.
Looking at it here. Oh, okay.
Oh, there's a full POV tour
Of what?
of the Japan Mario Kart Koopa's Challenge, full ride and POV tour.
Is that like the official account tweeted that?
I'm checking that right now.
Something
I'm
out?
trying to find.
Because yeah, there's a big market for people just riding roller coasters, filming them and putting them on YouTube. Actually, I watched a ride through of there is a How to Train Your Dragon ride somewhere that it was actually really, really well done. It's like kind of like a flying coaster with dark elements to it. And it was really, really neat. Some really cool animatronics in it actually. And I was a little surprised by how well done it was.
That How to Train Your Dragon's a pretty big property, I guess.
Well, I mean that's coming to Epic Universe. They're
Yeah.
building a whole How to Train Your Dragon land, which is going to be great. But I didn't know that IP existed outside of Universal elsewhere. So I don't know what park it was, but it was a really cool attraction. The idea was like you're hanging out with Jay Beerchell and Toothless, and it takes like he goes to different places.
So I sent a video just now to Brian. It's from the official Universal account, but it looks like, yeah, they're starting early 2023 at Universal Studios Hollywood. You'll be able to enter the colorful world of Mario, Luigi, and Princess Peach. Entering through an iconic warp pipe, you'll find yourself at Super Nintendo World. Transported to various games. Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge takes you on an interactive ride where no two races are alike. Within the dungeons of Bowser's castles, you'll race with your friends and family and hop into the stadium-style cart. Then at Lakitu's Signal, you'll be at the race of your life. Seems pretty cool.
Yeah, that one's that's the one that it's got AR built into it. So you actually have like a Mario helmet that you wear, and on that it actually has like AR goggles, and so you can play along. So you actually can ride it. Or you can actually like contribute and do better. You can race and it keeps track. So they have these like power-up bracelets that you wear, and it keeps your score. Actually, like you tag it to an account, and it will keep track of like how well you did, and you can get achievements in the land and stuff. It is really, really neat. And this has the mix of the like AR and live action stuff and multiple screens and projection mapping. There's a lot of really cool stuff in that. Excuse me. Okay.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
These things down.
That's clever.
What's that?
That ride.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. And I'll be curious to see if we get more stuff like that at Epic Universe, like if that's going to be the next generation of that style of attraction. Okay,
I mean, that certainly seems to be the direction things are headed, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you want to have those interactive experiences, right? Like that's
Of course, yeah.
That is the cool new way of doing stuff. And so even something like, like Darren Brown's Ghost Train, like that was definitely a unique experience that I wasn't expecting. I was like, all right. That was a neat take on something, I guess.
It was the take.
Don't talk about it, guys. Don't talk about it. Come on. Listen to the Ghost Train after you.
They do a good job of setting like the tone. I was a little spooked out at the start and then got to be on it and I was like, no, okay, this isn't not as spooky as I thought.
Yeah.
I pulled a few other news items. You guys want to go through them?
Let's do it, Ben.
Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is officially open. How much do you think they're charging for Lightning Lane?
I know, Jeff. How much do you think they're charging for Lightning Lane?
So
Lightning Lane in the past, the max was $15.
And $15 just means if you want to ride it right now, you can skip the line for $15.
Basically, yes. You could get into an alternate line, which was the old Fast Pass line. Now it's called Lightning Lane. They have what's called individual Lightning Lanes for certain attractions that you can pay money for.
Okay.
And so, how much do you think you have to spend in order to get into the Lightning Lane at Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, brand new coaster at Epcot?
And that's all it gets you?
Gets you into the faster line. You still have to wait a little bit, not nearly as much, but...
What do you think? What is a little bit?
Maybe like 15 minutes at most.
Okay. I'm thinking that's like $30.
$30 per person to ride that coaster.
I'm not saying that's fair. I'm just saying that
That's a bit high. That's a bit high.
Okay, how about 15?
15 was the old max. They have now...
You said that. You said
yeah, now they've actually
16.
made... $17, Jeff. You were
They
so
went up
close.
$2.
They went up $2, which doesn't sound like much, but then you get like a party of 4, and suddenly, you're spending,
$8.
a whole bunch of money to ride these things. And that starts adding up, because then you throw in your Lightning Lane for, Remy or the Ratatouille adventure, and then you throw in, a couple other ones, some lunch, and suddenly you're spending an additional couple $100 at the park a day. And it all starts adding up. But some people take this trip once, maybe once in a
lifetime,
5 years. No, not
Some people wait a lifetime, Jack.
Not David Byrne, Jeff. Not David Byrne. Yeah. So anyway, whole lot. Would you spend $17? I don't know if I would spend $17
for Guardians.
For Guardians. Well, part of the thing is the queue is actually really neat, and so you miss that when you kind of sneak through the back. So
I think it boils down to this. How much, on a personal level, is your time worth to you?
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, I understand that. But my issue is, my big issue is the stuff that they're charging for is stuff that used to be free.
Sure. No, I get that.
Which is super frustrating. It's like this wasn't something you had to pay for before. It was limited, but you didn't have to pay for it.
And it's clearly frustrating in a time period where companies were reporting record profits.
Yeah.
Although it could be potentially short-sighted because there's the floodgate effect of opening things back up and then things slow down. And inflation, I think, is going to be a sucker punch or a gut punch to a lot of theme parks.
Yeah.
Entertainment's the first thing to suffer. And so it might be we're trying to insulate a pretty depressing looking future in the short term.
Yeah, I get that. I understand that.
Not to defend.
Why are you defending Bob Chapek?
I'm really not trying to.
What do you like Bob Chapek so much?
Just wondering.
You're like
the why behind some of this.
Bobby C hanging out, getting some milkshakes.
Specifically for this ride.
I want a milkshake now.
I think it's worth it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could understand maybe paying for it once.
Yeah.
Just to do it, but man, it's such a good ride. But I will say the one thing that they're claiming is that the capacity for the ride is actually really, really high. For a roller coaster especially, they load very quick and they get a lot of people through it very fast. So the Imagineers working on it claim there should never be more than a 45-minute wait to ride it, just based on how many people they can get through it. Which, if that is the case, that's going to be incredible. I mean, obviously that won't be true initially, because it's going to get a flood of people wanting to ride the thing. But as it's open for longer, hopefully that means it'll calm down a little bit and more people will be able to ride it. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh shoot, Leon Vane in chat brings up a good point.
What's that?
You asked when I'm going back to Japan.
I did ask that.
In like a month. at RTX.
Hey!
Oh,
pass is
right,
going to
because you're going.
Annual pass is going to Japan at RTX this year. That's right. If you want to go to Japan with us at RTX, join us, rtxevent.com. You can buy tickets right now. And you can meet myself and Geoff and Ben and BK will be there and Toto too. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be hanging out and
in Japan.
In Japan.
In Japan.
Did I do this right? I did this.
This has unintentionally racist written all over it.
Man, I went to Taiwan. God, probably 6 years ago at this point. We actually went there. The government of Taiwan flew us out to basically show off like touristy type stuff.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was such a cool experience, and it was me and Sam and Craig from formerly Screw Attack and Jeremy. We all went out there, and that was the most.
4 best friends.
that was the most I've ever felt like out of place in my life. I'm like,
Really?
I do not feel like I belong here. Like we stuck out like sore white thumbs, and like we were all. I mean, and like Craig and I are both over 6 feet tall. Even Sam, like we're all over 6 feet tall, and we were like, just you could see us from a mile away, and just these white guys with video
Smell
cameras.
you from a mile and a half away.
Just these white guys with video cameras walking around filming stuff, and we had a blast. We had a really good time. But it was definitely a unique experience, to say the least. But I had an amazing time, and I would love to go back.
Yeah, it was awesome you guys got to do that.
So next news item, did you hear about like what's going on with Disneyland Paris?
What is going on with Disneyland Paris? You talking about the proposal?
Yeah, the proposal.
Explain that to those who might be listening right now, Ben.
So, Geoff.
That's me.
Usually, like Disneyland World Paris has a lot of like proposals that happen. A lot of
Disney in
photos,
general
happiest place
does.
on earth. There's a viral video that went off. I think I sent the video to Brian, where a worker snatches a diamond ring box out of a man's hand while he's on one knee popping the question. We got it right.
We got the
Here you
video
go.
here. So you gotta love this, Geoff. This guy looks so smug. Watch this, Jeffrey.
Like, it's not a good look for Disney or for the Disney worker at all.
And the guy's like, I'm proposing to my fiance, and yoink, this way, sir. What a nightmare. What a nightmare.
And you hear him just say out loud, like, off, come on.
Or he's like, over here. Like that is a lot of people are defending him like, oh, that's apparently that's Disney standard. Apparently he wasn't supposed to be there. They were about to do a show there. So I'm not trying to defend this, but so apparently there was going to be a show on this stage, and he asked if he could bring his fiance up. Someone told him no. He then went and asked somebody else. They said okay if you could do it quick. And then he went to propose, and then that the cast member jumped in and sort of made something of it. If I was there, if it was my situation, like a lot of people are like, oh, he's just doing his job. It's like, yes, but you could have handled that a lot better. Like if that was me, if I was in that situation, I saw someone proposing on the stage, I'd be like, let's just let him have it and just let it happen and then get out of the way. You never would have heard about that because like Geoff said, there's 1,000 proposals at Disney every single day. I personally have seen about 10 of them in front of the castle in Florida. And so just let it happen. People cheer. Like, okay, hey guys, can you get off the stage? We're about to start a show. Boom, they're off. Nothing comes of it. Now Disney had to come out. Disney came out and apologized publicly to this new couple.
Yeah.
And it's become a whole mess. And it's just like, it's a bad look. It's a bad look.
Sure, they got some like hotel rooms or.
I don't even know about that, honestly.
Free Dole Whip.
Yeah, I mean, because technically they weren't supposed to be there, but it's kind of like, yeah, well, we'll just, we'll apologize, say our bad. We won't do it next time, and then that'll be it. So.
Yeah, Philip DeFranco had a really good interview with I think like someone who worked in the parks, who mentioned that I guess they're taught like do not touch the ring box.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like that's a horrible nightmare. The idea of someone grabbing that out of your hands, like.
It's a good way to get hit.
Yeah, exactly. Like if he wasn't at Disney, there's a very good chance that that guy throws an elbow or something. I would never have done that. That's a very silly thing to do.
I also learned that there's a TikTok craze, I guess, with Disney that Disney had to recently come out and like put their foot down.
What's that?
Where theme park goers would show up in revealing clothing and basically try to find like a park attendee and like go to buy ice cream or like some kind of food item. And then I guess the rule there for Disney is to offer like a free T-shirt to someone, any guests that like aren't wearing suitable clothing for the parks.
I've heard about that, yeah. So if basically,
what is wrong with people?
People are coming in sort of scantily clad, basically wearing inappropriate outfits, And then supposedly there was a TikToker who did it like last year. She came onto the park wearing something that was revealing too much, and a cast member came up to her and said, "Hey, yeah, you're not really supposed to wear that in the park. Sorry. Here's a voucher. You can take this into the Main Street store and pick up something to cover yourself with." So she rolled out with like a $90 sweater. And she's like, "Oh, I figured out that this Disney
Cracked the
hack.
code.
Yeah, it's a Disney hack to get free, a free shirt." And so supposedly people have been trying to do that, and Disney's like, "No, you leave. Like, get out of the park. Like, come back when you have something better."
Yeah.
Which I totally understand. I'm like, "Yep, that's how I would do it." I'd be like, "Yeah, you're not getting free stuff out of us."
So I should go ahead and cancel that TikTok film you were going to do with you? Or?
You showing off your belly?
Yeah.
Yeah, take a halter top back.
Also, there's a rumor that Revenge of the Mummy could become returning in July.
Yeah. So Revenge of the Mummy has been down at Universal Studios in Florida for a few months now. Went down in January, as a matter of fact. And initially people were thinking it was going to be a massive refurb, like they were going to replace all the track. Turns out it wasn't as significant as that. They are just replacing some of the ride systems, because the ride is, God, almost 30 years old at this point, or 20 years old at this point. And so they're replacing some of the ride systems that were built like super long time ago with more up-to-date stuff. And so it should be coming back pretty soon from what I understand.
Yeah. And then the final piece of news I have for this month is that after an accidental leak last week, Universal has come out and announced one of their Halloween Horror Nights houses
Ooh, what was the leak?
is Universal Monsters Legends Collide, featuring the Wolfman versus Dracula versus the Mummy. Will be one of the houses this year at Halloween Horror Nights.
That's cool. Universal's pretty good about having one sort of classic monster house at every Halloween Horror Nights. Last year it was Bride of Frankenstein.
Returns. Yeah.
That was a great house.
Yeah, it was.
Really, really cool house. And so this year it's going to be the, was it Wolfman, Mummy, and Frankenstein?
Yep.
That's pretty cool. They actually have a temporary space set up right now in the Mummy, like Revenge of the Mummy, the exit, the little shop there at the end. They've converted into a Mummy, or into like a Universal Classic Monster shop right now. So if you ever wanted to pick up Universal Monster stuff, it's all over there. And they actually just opened in the Tribute Store. So, Jeff, I think you would actually really dig this.
Thanks.
The Tribute Store at Universal is basically a black box shopping experience where they change it up about every quarter. And so, like, when we were there for Halloween Horror Nights, it was a Halloween Horror Nights themed store.
Yeah.
And then they turned it into a Mardi Gras themed store. Right now, it's themed for classic movies. So it's 3 rooms. They have an E.T. room, a Jaws room, and a Back to the Future room. And, like, so you walk into the E.T. room, and it's themed like Elliot's room from E.T.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and like so every room is themed differently. They have different stuff, and at the very end, it's like a checkout, basically. Oh no, my battery's dead.
Mike. Yeah, there's a few rumors as well as like other houses that might pop up this year, and that Monsters house was on the list of like that short-term leak. So I don't know. I'm real excited for Halloween Horror Nights this year. There might be like a Stranger Things house is kind of one of the rumors, I think.
Well, that would make sense.
Yeah.
It's the hot property right now.
Yeah, they usually have kind of whatever the hotness is every year. Like last year, they had the Haunting of Hill House, which, initially that was going to be, right after the show came out, but then COVID delayed everything. And then, and then the Beetlejuice house. They'll do like a classic one too. So
That Beetlejuice house was pretty cool.
there is a rumor that Nope might have a house.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah.
Dude, that's a scary trailer.
Dude, it's a fantastic trailer. Anything Jordan Peele does, I'm all about. Like, I don't like horror movies, but I love his style of filmmaking. Kind of like Sam Raimi. Like, I'll watch Sam Raimi movies just because I think he's fantastic. Not really my style of movie, but man, I will absolutely check it out.
So you don't like horror movies?
Not a big horror guy. I don't like being scared. So
But you love theme parks.
love theme parks. Why does that? What does that have to do with it?
The rides are all scary. That's the whole point of them.
No, not really. Not all scary.
Seem to enjoy Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, I loved Halloween Horror Nights. I mean, that's sort of like a blend of things I love. And it's like, okay, I can make myself suffer through this. Like, I dig that. But yeah, anyway.
Man, I made the mistake of telling Jeff last year what type of horror I do not like. And there was definitely a few houses that were in that genre of horror, and Jeff made sure that I knew it when we were going through those houses.
Well, you're welcome.
Oh, thanks, man.
Just looking out for you.
Jeff's lovely like that. He's just a lovely gentleman. But yeah, Halloween Horror Nights this year, we're looking forward to going back. Our buddy at Universal's already talked about what we can do there, and we got some ideas of things I would love to make happen. So we'll see if we can make any of it happen.
Galaridian in chat says that they've publicly announced Mike Myers as a house.
Ooh.
I don't have like confirmation of that, but that sounds cool.
That's pretty neat. Mike Myers, a little classic Universal right there.
Oh, they announced that today, apparently.
Oh.
Dang.
That's why we're having the stream right now, to talk about Mike Myers.
Live breaking news.
So it's going to be like an Austin Powers house?
Magic.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like Wayne's World, Austin Powers.
The love guru.
Yeah.
That's the. I was gonna say that's the type of horror that I can't stand. Mike Myers. No, well, like invasion stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, haunted house announcement. This is the beginning of your end. Come face to face with Michael Myers and go back to where it all began. Step into terrifying moments from the 1978 horror classic Halloween.
That's pretty sweet.
Very cool.
I'm going to guess that's going to go right there. Ooh. Oh, man. Okay, Halloween. Great theme song with that one, too. So I'm sure we'll hear that quite a bit. That's the one thing that almost more than anything in Halloween Horror Nights that I really, really loved was
the Halloween theme song.
The Halloween theme song was the idea of how much they transform the park.
Yeah.
Like you walk in and it feels like an entirely different place than you've ever been before. It's like it is so cool that, you know, something that's usually so friendly and so welcoming, it's like, oh, now I feel like everything around me wants to kill me, and this is horrifying. And I love that. I love that they're able to do that, and that Universal's like, go nuts, man. Have fun. Like,
yeah.
we want to see cool stuff happening, and that's pretty neat in my opinion.
Yeah, I think we were talking about that on a recent episode, but just how like being in the park as the transition happens is such a cool experience because you're like just kind of watching it unfold around you.
Yeah, I think we may have actually talked about that one today in the most recent episode. I think it was the Back to the Future episode came out today. Which, did you see the thumbnail for the episode, Geoff?
Yeah.
It's you and me as Doc Brown.
Yeah.
And made to look like the Universal promo art for Doc Brown is pretty great.
I think I'm in the DeLorean.
Yeah, you're Marty in the DeLorean. Yeah, it's Gail Fox is our artist, and she does amazing work. And it's one of those things where like we don't even really have to tell her anything at all anymore. It's like, hey, we're doing Back to the Future. She goes on it and just knocks out amazing work.
Right, yeah.
It's like, well, that's just makes life so much easier, and I'm happy to have. I'm so happy with sort of the community that's built up around the love of theme parks and the love of this kind of stuff that we do, and that we can share it with so many different people in so many different ways. And so, again, please tell your friends, listen to the show, watch our stuff, because we want to keep making more of this stuff. So please, 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 spread the love. Okay.
It's also just nice to work with genuinely talented people and be reminded that you and I are not.
That's just seniority has taken us so far.
Right place, right time.
We've just been here around here long enough to just ride the wave.
I'll tease it a little bit. We have a really cool interview happening tomorrow.
Yeah. We actually have. We can just straight up say it. We have a TikToker named Youth Pastor Ryan, who he's a former Disney cast member. He actually was a character, or he was friends with some characters at the park, and so we're going to be talking with him about his experience working in the parks, and also what he does on TikTok and how what's that like interacting with an audience there, and it should be pretty good.
Youth Pastor Ryan.
I think he used to play Spider-Man in the parks.
I know he's done. He was friends with a stormtrooper for a while. He's done a whole number of things from what I understand.
That's an interesting odd couple.
What's that?
A youth pastor and a stormtrooper living in an apartment together.
I don't know if he's actually
in the big city. Have to make it work.
I don't know if he's actually a youth pastor, but
Disney Plus's next big property. Their next big sitcom. Puzzles, man.
Uh-oh, Jeff's throwing pieces. Geoff, you upset?
I'm just clumsy.
Okay, and that's a 1,000-piece puzzle? Yeah, that's a very cool puzzle.
Yeah, it's going very well.
I'm liking it. I'm liking my my thing here. I'm going vertical now. That's exciting.
Not yet, huh?
Not yet with what?
Oh, just this puzzle piece.
Get there. Come on. Connect.
All right, that's fine. That's fair.
And this one here. All right. Locking it all in. This feels good. Starting to feel solid. I'm digging it.
Wonder how much faster it would be to put a puzzle together if I also had instructions.
Well, I talked about doing that sometime, about doing a thing where you give, like, you go to a convention or something and you have like 500 people You sell tickets, 500 tickets, and when you come in, you get one puzzle piece. And then everyone's in a room, all 500 people in a room, and it's like, all right, build the puzzle, everyone. And then it's just, like, how long would that take? Would it be like, would someone take charge? Like, all right, we know all the edge pieces.
Somebody would definitely take
everyone
charge.
who's got a yellow over here. Like,
yeah, they would segment off pretty quickly.
that would be a fun
social experiment.
Yeah, just to, I think that would be pretty cool.
I agree.
1, 2.
Next time we go to a theme park, we'll just have you wait at the gates as people walk through their tickets. You hand them a puzzle piece. If you can get this puzzle built by the end of the day.
If you can get genuine buy-in from the audience to not like steal their puzzle piece or keep it as a memento or screw around,
Yeah.
Because there's always one person who wants to be the one dude who didn't do it, and then we have 499 puzzle pieces, and he's like,
Maybe you charge $100 to enter, and if you complete the puzzle, if everyone completes the puzzle, they get their money back. And so it's like, all right, if you can do this.
Someone with $100 to burn is about to ruin a lot.
yeah, that would be.
That'd be you.
Yeah.
That seems like you're that kind of guy. And I would be the one, very upset. Like, we almost had it. We're missing one piece.
Guys, come on, just be cool.
I don't know if you could find 500 people. But
You can find 500 people.
What do you think is? 500 people that'd be willing to do it. Like, what do you think? Maybe 250 would be sort of the max?
I bet you could find 500.
Maybe you start with like 100. Be like, all right, 100 people do a 100-piece puzzle.
Yeah.
And then
Go up each time.
yeah, and then like, all right, we pulled it off. Next year we'll do 250.
Well, it's not too late. RTX is coming.
That's true. Maybe that'll be the panel. You think we could finish in 1 hour?
We just put like 100 puzzle pieces in random welcome bags with like a little note that says, "Congratulations, you've just won access to the puzzle room. Please go deposit your puzzle piece. You need to stay in there until you find one person to connect with."
That feels very much like an Improv Everywhere kind of bit. Like they'd be doing this sort of stuff.
That is my nightmare.
Interacting with humans?
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely that. But also just like, Jack's the person trying to get people to build a puzzle. You're the person that's like trying to actively hide your puzzle piece. I'm the guy who's there to help, but puts the puzzle piece in his pocket and then goes, "Oh, cool, I have it." Oh God, where did it go? And then I'm panicking about it for the next 2 hours in that room trying to find the puzzle piece.
Okay.
Someone in chat says, "I would love to see an episode covering anything about Lagoon in Utah.
Lagoon?
A lot of crazy stuff in its history."
That sounds like that place could be haunted. Like, I know nothing about Lagoon, but if you ask me, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's a haunted theme park.
Oh, Lagoon in Utah?
Yeah.
12 men died that day.
Lagoon Amusement Park. Its tagline is, "It's what fun is."
Oh, well, there you go.
Lagoon. No, not haunted. Join us.
Definitely not haunted.
Acquitted of all charges.
There's some cool stuff in here. And they have like a Rattlesnakes Rapids ride where you're like in what
Jeff?
looks like a giant tire going down a rapids.
Jeff, you love rattlesnakes and rapids.
I like rapids, okay? I don't want nothing to do with rattlesnakes.
You were telling me the other day how much you wanted to ride a ride themed around snakes, and I was like, okay, that seems weird.
That's a lie, and you're a liar.
No, you were like, hey man, if there's ever a snake ride, I'm all about it.
Oh, okay, but their website does show how many G-forces are on the ride. Cannibal lifts riders 208 feet and plunges them into 116 beyond vertical freefall into an underground tunnel. Everything you love, Jeff.
Cannibal?
Most thrilling ride, including a 140-foot tall inverted loop and water feature. Riders travel up to 70 miles an hour over 2,735 feet and through 3 inversions. It reaches up to 4.2 G-forces, a max speed of 70 miles per hour, 208 feet height, and 2,700 feet in length.
Sounds like a fun day.
This actually does look really cool.
Sounds like a... What was that ride called again?
Cannibal.
Cannibal. Okay, and it's in Utah.
Yeah.
So it's very like Donner Party.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Or Alfred Packer or something.
Oh, yeah, you think it's based off of the
Cannibal the Musical?
Yeah, Cannibal the Musical.
It's the vertical freefall into an underground tunnel. As far as we know, this is built on a mine shaft, and
As far as we know.
yeah.
I'd be down for it. I'll ride anything at least once. Like I at this point in my life, I'm not going to turn down anything. So.
Speaking of Star Wars, I've also been watching The Staircase. Are any of you guys watching that?
The Staircase. That sounds like a reality show.
No, it's an HBO Max show based off of a documentary that was on HBO about a dude who may or may not have pushed his wife down the stairs to kill her.
I have seen advertising for this, yeah.
Yeah. It's got Colin Firth and Toni Collette in it.
Oh, I've seen a picture of it. Like I've seen the promo art.
Pretty good.
So do you do it?
I honestly don't know, man. I didn't watch the documentary, but I think she might have been killed by a giant owl. That seems believable to me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
That's the running theory.
A giant owl.
Yeah. Putting up like a Christmas deer in her front yard.
Well, how do you explain that to like St. Peter? Like, what happened? Giant owl? Like, psh.
We haven't gotten to the part where they explain it to a jury yet, but we'll see how that goes.
Oh wow. I'm all about that.
That doesn't really have anything to do with Star Wars. It's just what's going on in my life.
That's your life now. Is Toni Collette and Survivor.
Colin Firth.
Is Survivor over?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was it was one of the best seasons in recent memory. It was so good.
I gotta say, if you're a fan of Survivor, that style of reality show, if you're over on Rooster Teeth, check out Survive Block Island. Katie and I watched the entire season and had an absolute blast watching it. It was really, really well done and very, very good. I highly, highly recommend it. And I'm genuinely saying that. Like, check it out. It's fun and it's.
It was such an affirming thing to be a part of because, like, at this late stage in my career, you don't expect to be a part of a production that just kind of blows you away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it was the most fun I've ever had in 19 and a half years at Rooster Teeth. The most fun I've ever had on a production was helping produce that. It was like watching. So, you know when back in the I would say back in the old days because when we would make AH videos together, like every once in a while you'd have a podcast or a video where you just knew at the end. You're like, that was awesome.
It's like the one you want to tell people about after you finish filming it.
It was like that when we're all running around to each other's desks to look at whatever happened in GTA.
Yeah.
It felt like that after every episode.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely like I watched the entire thing and had a blast watching it, and there's definitely stuff where it's like I was shocked at certain things that happened and certain people got voted out, and it's just it was pretty great. And yeah, so no spoilers, but check it out. It's a very good show. We can say season 2 is coming. That's been announced that a second season is happening.
Yeah.
So
very excited about that.
Yeah, and so we'll see a new cast taking on some of the challenges.
There was a little teaser there too at the end of season 1 for people. I won't spoil it.
I was trying to think what the annual pass version of like something in Minecraft would be, and I guess it would just be like a meetup at that Disney server.
MC Parks, yeah. Yeah, we're talking about possibly doing some sort of like a virtual community thing. So
That'd be cool.
I can talk to. I know those guys over there. Darren and Ryan who run MC Parks. Maybe we could. I'm sure they would be down for us. Taking over their server a little bit.
Can we set it up so anybody waiting in line to go on the rides is just blasting the annual pass podcast?
And the only way to turn it off is to charge them $17.
Well, for what it's worth, when we did an episode of Minecraft in there, and they threw the Achievement Hunter logo on a hat, and you could actually wear it around the park, which is great. I'm sure if I talk to them, we might be able to pull it off where we can get some annual pass merchandise in the MC Park server.
And no knockoff shirts.
No, the actual
ones. Okay.
And so, yeah, I'll reach out to them, see if they'd be down for that. I'm sure that's something they would be interested in. I'm doing well. I'm approaching kind of an in place here. Jeff, I know you got to head out pretty soon. I'll make sure you're not missing.
How am I doing? Oh, yeah, I need to leave in 6-7 minutes.
Yeah, 6 minutes left in stream.
I got a little bit of time left.
Yeah, we got a little bit more time. Almost done here.
Jack, I was looking today. The audience seemed to enjoy your cameo in the latest episode of my other podcast that we can't say out loud.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's
good.
good.
Happy to hear you pop in.
Yeah, that was...
It was a fun little unannounced thing.
Well, it was funny because we were going to be recording Annual Pass, and I was like, where's Jeff? And I popped into the other recording server. I'm like, oh, there he is. And then I said a few words for you guys. I was happy to be a part. Happy to be a part of your show.
Appreciate it.
Your other show. Spread the joy that is Annual Pass across multiple properties.
I want to get Gavin to be the super fan of Annual Pass. And by that, I mean I just want to put him on a roller coaster with a microphone and just have him record a bunch of stuff and have him chime in every now and then on the show.
I wonder if Gavin likes theme parks.
I bet he does, right?
I bet he would say, and I don't even know directly what this means, but in my head, I could see him go, all right, whatever. I can't be chaffed. And I don't know exactly what chaffed means, but it's probably like
Yeah.
I can't be bothered. Like it's like I feel like he'd be very ambivalent towards them.
It's like he's sitting right here. I can see him right in front of me.
It's like I'm speaking to him now. All right, 2, 4,
6, 8.
8. And then 4 of these guys. I'm getting pretty close to the end here. Where are we going to put this stuff, Ben? You're the producer of the show. Where's all this going to live?
That's a good question that we'll find out next month.
Well, I mean, we're going to find out after we're done recording here. The studio's used for more than just us, unfortunately.
No, after the cameras turn off, Jack, I just like completely black out until they turn them back on. Yeah. I don't know anything
Power
that happens
down.
between
They
the
just
two.
shut you down.
Yeah.
Jeff, I'm excited for tomorrow's episode of Annual Pass we're recording. I think you're going to dig it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So BK's recording on this for the first time, so I reached out to her and I said, hey, what are some of your favorite attractions? And we'll do like the first episode will have be one of your favorites. And the first thing she said was Mission Space, which blew my mind. I was like, really? Mission Space is your favorite attraction? And which, if you don't know, that one makes a lot of people sick.
Great.
I'm like, we've already done that one, but also you're insane. What?
Does it make them sick or black out?
I mean, why not both?
Okay.
So anyway, we're not doing Mission. We've done Mission Space before. We'll probably bring it up, but we're doing another series. That,
Are we recording in person?
yes.
Okay, cool.
So we will be here tomorrow
Good
recording.
deal.
Should be fun.
In the usual space.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we're doing our interview with Youth Pastor Ryan as well.
He's going to be telling us all about his new
Spin-off series.
buddy comedy drama spin-off series.
Oh man. Okay, we're approaching the end here. 3.
Don't be surprised if in the background of the episode you see a half-built puzzle and
Yeah.
3/4 of a Lego roller coaster.
3/4 is maybe a quarter. I'm on bag 2, and there's at least 11 bags for sure. So there's a lot. This one's gonna be a while. I'm just happy to be building it because I've had this thing in my closet in my house for years.
Okay, I'm going to put this in and then I got a jet.
Okay, 6 of those and then 6 smooths. But yeah, as we're sort of wrapping up the stream here, let us know what you think. I'm curious, like, what do you guys like most about Annual Pass? What is your thing that you dig the most about Annual Pass? Like, what do you wish there was more of?
Or less of.
Yeah, or less of. Like, what are you not liking? But just let us know, because this is what the streams are meant to get feedback from you guys, more of a direct contact with you, kind of see what your thoughts and feelings are on things. So I'm curious to hear from your perspective what's going on.
I would love to know what kind of video content they want to see for the show.
Yeah. I'm curious about that. I'm curious to see how that goes and see how that translates over to YouTube.
Uh-oh. Shouldn't have
Well,
done
next
that.
month, fingers crossed, BK can sit here with a laptop and I'll be off hidden somewhere in a thumbnail.
You'll be off producing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
To get rid of Ben?
He's been around. He's had his time.
You sound like my mom.
All right, I got to go.
All right,
Bye,
Jeffrey,
Jeff.
much love to you.
Bye, audience.
Jeff will be heading out here. I'm going to keep going. I'm almost done with this guy. And so as soon as I wrap up my little bits here.
I've made good progress. Good progress.
Oh, yeah, you have. Look at you. I don't know. We don't have that overhead camera, do we? Like, we can't.
Oh, wait, there's an overhead camera. Look at it.
Oh, there it is. All right. Yeah, you can see. Jeff's done pretty well. So again, that's the Magic Kingdom puzzle right there that Jeff is building. Shaking your keys around. Okay.
Bye,
Bye, Jeff. Love you. See you tomorrow. Go Celtics.
Go Celtics.
That in there.
Secretly, Amacat in RT chat says, I hadn't heard about this live stream. Is it a recurrent thing? I love when Jack builds Legos on stream and Jeff with the puzzles. Perfect vibes.
Nice. Yes, actually. So secretly, I'm a cat. We are going to be doing these at least once a month. We hopefully will be announcing pretty far in advance to let you guys know. Like right now, the July one, sort of our timing is going to be a little up in the air because we're coming off of RTX. So it'll be a little bit, maybe a little bit later than this one, a little bit, maybe like mid-July before we have the next one. But yeah, we're definitely gonna be doing these, and I've got a big Lego set to build. Jeff's got a puzzle to build, so we're gonna have time. And so, yeah, please hang out with us. Did I miss 6 of these guys? 4, 5, 6. So make sure to come back and hang out with us the next few times we do these.
Keep an eye on Twitter. Annual_pass? Annual pass?
Annual_pass
you
on Twitter. That's going to be the quickest way you can find out information about what we're doing. We tweet out the stuff that's going on there. We're also annual_pass on Instagram as well, and annual pass pod on TikTok, which I swear to God, I'm going to learn how to use it, and I'm going to start using that thing.
Very proud of you.
Yeah, no, I've had a good time. I enjoy talking, it's the podcast. We try to keep it a little bit more evergreen, so we don't really want to date it by having a lot of news stories and whatnot. But being able to talk about it, talk about the new stuff going on, and short form bits, kind of even during the stream, where I was like, oh yeah, here's what's going on with it. This is kind of a cool story, blah blah blah. I enjoy doing that kind of stuff, and I think we'll do more of that kind of stuff on TikTok, hopefully, where it's like, hey, here's a neat little story that's happening that I'll give you 1 minute on it, as opposed to trying to fit it into a podcast.
Yeah, I like the idea of giving you a space to just kind of throw your thoughts out on theme park news as it happens.
Yeah.
Also, just kind of cool little theme park Easter egg stuff. We filmed a lot of TikTok content too while we were out there.
Yeah. So hopefully we're gonna get more stuff like that. That's the idea as far as our TikTok accounts. Of course, I feel so old saying all this, but I promise you, it's gonna be for good. It's gonna be for good things. Okay, let me see how I make all this work. All right, so.
We got some people in chat saying that they want to see more food review stuff. Well, good news.
Yep.
We ate a lot of food while we were there. Some food and bevs are my favorite parts of the amusement parks. A lot of people that are real upset that Jeff's a Celtics fan.
Oh, really?
Apparently.
Wow. Well, I'm glad he left, because he would have burned this chat to the ground, knowing that people are upset with his love of the Celtics.
We'll save that for next month.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Oh, cool. All right, almost done here. And after this stream, we've got our friends at I believe it's State Farm. They're doing a Gamerhood stream, I think is what's happening after this, right?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
The actual title of it is. I think it's
pretty sure that's
Strangerhood, Gamerhood?
I think it's Gamerhood. Strangerhood was a show we did forever ago.
Stick around on RTTV. It'll be here.
It'll be here on RTTV over on our twitch.tv/Rooster Teeth. And all of the other various places.
The Gamerhood challenge.
Gamerhood. What did I say?
I think I said Strangerhood. I just have Stranger Things on the mind.
And I just mocked you. That's all it was.
Yeah, you want to wrap this up and let them do that?
Yeah, so I've got my last little bit here. Let me just go ahead and seal these things up. And I made it through 2 bags in 2 hours, so I guess that's a good sort of barometer of time. Is it just going to go in the middle here, I'm guessing? Yeah, all right. Put this in. Oh, and that goes there. And voila, we have finished the first 2 bags of the coaster, the old school coaster. We're going vertical with it. So again, this is an actual roller coaster Lego set.
Oh, the next step is literally adding the tracks.
Yeah, we're getting the tracks in the next one. So it's pretty rad. So that's going to do it for our stream here for Annual Pass. But again, genuinely, thank you so much, every single person who has hung out with us, watching, all the pass holders listening right now. If you haven't listened to Annual Pass, please do so. It's available anywhere you listen to your podcasts, on Spotify, Apple, of course, over at roosterteeth.com as well. You can listen in. Episodes come out every Thursday. A new one came out today. Back to the Future, the Ride came out today, which is a great one. And and next week we'll have BK on for her first episode, which is going to be a blast. And it's good times. I really enjoy doing the show, and it's a lot of fun. And getting to do the live show in Florida was a great time. And doing these streams has been really, really cool too. And so this is more of a chance to kind of get down and dirty with you guys. So love you very much. Grab some merchandise as well. That really helps out the show. If you like any of the Annual Pass merchandise, some of the shirts we have are really, really great. And I love them very, very much. And that supports us directly, and it helps us keep going. So we want to keep making the podcast. So please support us however you can. If anything, just let people know about the show and spread the word. Again, it is family friendly. Anyone can listen to it. I've got nephews who are 8 and 10. They love the show. And so anytime we can do something like that, I'm always for it. So that's going to do it. Ben, thank you very much for joining today. It's been a lot of fun. Absolutely. And on behalf of Jeff, thank you very much, Jeff. And I've been Jack. We love you. Take care. Stay tuned for our State Farm Gamerhood stream. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.